All right, y'all, I was literally minding my own business and I got a revelation just standing up at the stove heating water for tea. You know how there are so many, numerous videos it appears regarding paternity fraud, where men have been named as the father of the child or of the children, only to find out via DNA that he is not the father. Yet this man has been pouring into that child or these children through love, through financial support, through time and energy. And you've got some women who deliberately set men up for this, and you've got some men who, after learning it, that they're not the dad, though hurt, they will remain. And it seems that some women are hopeful or anticipating that type of mindset, that the man is just willingly going to just stay in a situation that he's been duped into. He's been fooled, hoodwinked, bamboozled, to quote Malcolm X. Now, here we go. There are two parts to this, and it's really quick. The first part is to the men. There are some brothers who actually have the calling on their lives to actually stand in the gap as a father for that child, especially when they know that is the situation, when they know that they themselves are not the biological father, but yet they have it within their ruach, within their spirits, their hearts, to step in for that child. That's given by the Most High. But to the women, when you actually allow an unrighteous spirit to enter into you to attempt entrapping this man, having this man fulfill a role that you know technically is not his, you've blindsided him, you have kept him blind, you have outright used him. That's when things typically go awry for you. That's when people snap off. That's when they come off the rails and somebody ends up getting hurt and or offed, just unalived, because that's evil, malicious behavior. So the solution is this. Ladies, if you know that there's a good possibility that the child is not that man's, let the man know up front. Don't let him get to investing all this time, money, and energy. Let him know up front, so then he can make the decision as to whether or not he will remain. I say this because even though my situation was different, I had a stepfather. My biological father, my mom's first husband, passed away. My biological father was sent, I believe, by the Most High. That man stepped in as though he was my dad. In fact, he reminded me a lot of my dad. And I am the product of a lot of what he poured into me. But this man knew the situation. Again, different circumstances in the sense that my dad actually passed away, leaving my mom as a, what's the term, is a widow or widower for a female? But anyway, he knew that he was picking up where a deceased man left off. But even for those who are still living, ladies, let these gentlemen know what the deal is so that they can be true and righteous with how they handle you. It goes back to this scripture right here, which is Luke 6:38. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, that is, and running over, shall men give unto your bosom. For the measure that you give is the measure that you'll receive. In other words, whatever you give, that's what you're going to get. If you give life, if you give health, if you give honesty, if you give truth, you receive those things. But if you give hell, if you give devastation and destruction and deception, that's what you're going to receive. And how much? Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, shall men give unto your bosom. Why? For the measure that you give is the measure you'll receive. May the Most High add a barakah to this word according to his will, and I pray this saves somebody's life, but more so, I hope that it saves somebody's spiritual life by opening up their eyes. In Yahushua's name.